since today I'm gonna be talking about the power of being alone. Because with the increase of just social media, having the ability to be alone and reflect on your character just as an individual can be difficult. But I think being able to separate yourself from like the mass of people and really endure a sense of quietness and solitude is really important. And if you're never alone, you're always scrolling, and some people just get to doom scrolling and scrolling all day. You're always, stimulated by out like an external source like blue light and all of that. You never really get a chance to sit and really identify who you are as a person, what you're really striving to do in your life. So, yeah, that's pretty much what we're gonna get into with this episode. So the first thing, you build more confidence. I mean, for me personally, just going on runs alone and training by myself, I built up a sense of self confidence, kind of grit and, just belief that I could do anything I set my mind to, and I'm gonna hold the standard regardless of what happens. I feel like that can be with anyone. I mean, because, when you're doing things alone, you prove to yourself that you are exactly who you say you are and who you want to be. It kind of makes you trust yourself. Like, you trust yourself more and you're more predictable and you can kind of predict what's going to happen. I mean, obviously there's some things that you can't control that are uncontrollable that will occur, but I mean, in terms of what you will do, you know what will happen. You know you'll do it anyway regardless of the circumstances. So I mean, because if you don't trust yourself, you probably won't have confidence and you won't have the courage to do what you want to do. So having confidence, I feel like confidence is one of the main drivers, because without confidence, you won't have enough like will and desire to go out there and get after it. But I think that's kind of self-explanatory. But one of the main things, you build more confidence when you're alone. And then second, you learn how to do things without the praise of others. Because I've talked about this a lot. Like, I've heard this a lot in The Courage to Be Disliked. Like, a lot of people, and I've done it before, they do things for likes and they do things for reposts and they do things for acknowledgement just to get that person to say, oh, you did good job, kudos to you. But the real thing is, are you happy with what you did? Do you think you put out your best effort? Do you think you can do more? Do you think you're at where you want to be in life? You know what I mean? Because I mean, no one else can really tell you that other than yourself. Because I mean, when you're alone, like for example, I'm gonna go back to the running thing. When you're alone running, and it's just you. I mean, obviously, if you run in a neighborhood, there's people around you, but like in that moment of time, it's just you. You're the only one who can really evaluate what you're doing and like the effort you're putting out, and like if you're really doing what you need, like what you set out to do. No one else can tell you like how you did. Because I mean, it's the difference when you're like, you have a coach, because obviously I have coaches. Like, shout out to Coach Hoffman. I'm gonna use Terry for example. Like Coach Hoffman, like literally like yesterday we had track practice and we were doing block starts. So we were doing blocks, because the thing is with me, since I run longer distances, I obviously still like train like a sprinter now, but like it's not really my mode anymore. But anyway, point I'm trying to get at, like after I'm like a few reps, like I'll be like, hey, like how did that look? Like, just constructive criticism. I think it's the difference between constructive criticism and like trying, because you need criticism from like-minded people that'll tell you like what you're actually doing correctly and incorrectly, instead of, it's the difference between that and you literally seeking like, oh, what do they think? Do they think I did good? Because I mean, if that's all you desire to like really feel fulfilled and like you're making a mark and you're progressing in life, you're not going to get anywhere. Because if you just keep seeking that, it's going to be a slippery slope, and it's going to be a rabbit hole of you just seeking praise. And then once you really, get to where you wanted to be, you're going to be unfulfilled. You're going to be like, dang, like I'm not even happy within myself. I'm just looking out for other people to tell me how I'm doing instead of me telling myself how I'm doing. So I feel like when you're alone and you're doing hard things and things that are out of your control, and you react certain ways, you really learn that you don't need anyone else to tell you like who you are and how good of a person you are, like the things you've done in life. But yeah, pretty much just I've noticed like when things happen, like let's say, like, cause you remember I mentioned the award thing. Like I'm gonna use that for example. Like I didn't get the award and I felt unfulfilled. I'm like, dang, cause I put in this effort and built done a lot of training over this period of time, and I feel like I guess I deserved that award, but I didn't get it. So, I was unfulfilled in that moment. I'm like, dang. But then I realized I don't need that. I need the praise and the acceptance of myself to keep going. And that's where we are now. So, yeah. Third one, you learn how to solve interpersonal problems. And this is like diet. Like, this is the main thing of the courage to be disliked. Like, all problems are interpersonal problems. All problems are problems within you. Because I mean, if you can't, because this is thing like I'm gonna use relationships like, for example, like boyfriend girlfriend relationships. If you're dealing with hardships, maybe you're having a hard time at home, maybe you're at a dark place in life, the relationship probably won't go well because you can't reciprocate that energy to the person you're talking to. It kind of applies to just life in general. Because I mean, if you're you know pessimistic and you never see the good in things, how are you going to tell someone else to, oh, look at the good in this, oh, there's a brighter side at the end of the tunnel? Like, how are you going to do that? That doesn't make sense. I mean, you can do that, but it's fake, it's not real. So just, I think the main thing is dealing with what you have to deal with, like within you. Obviously over time you're going to get better at it, and you're not going to solve I don't expect anyone, including me, to solve everything at once. But it's just taking that step and having the courage to go there and really go deep down and see what the issue is. Because I mean, it all starts with self, in my opinion. And I mean, obviously, a lot of people agree. So, yeah, the first step is just working on yourself, which will ultimately bleed into other people and everything else you do. Because if you don't have your stuff together, if you're not staying consistent, if you're not showing up for yourself, how can you show up for someone else? That makes no sense to me. If you're not, taking care of yourself, how are you supposed to take care of your mother, or take care of your dad, or take care of your siblings? That you can't. You're not showing up as the best version of yourself if you're not taking care of yourself first. Number four, you become more self-reliant, independent. I mean, I've seen this, I think, like, especially now, like today's age, being able to have your own opinion and your own like demeanor and your own like, persona is really important. Because I think a lot of people, follow waves. I mean, you see with music, like fashion, any subject, like there's a wave, and then some people just hop on it because it seems cool. I'm not saying you got to be the dude in the corner with their hood on and like acting all weird and mysterious, but I'm just saying, know yourself and know who you are, and don't follow everything you see. Like, I don't think being a follower I think you should be a leader, stand for what you stand for and hold that standard. You shouldn't follow people just because, oh, it's the newest thing and it seems so cool and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, like, I wrote this here, like, this might sound dark to some people, but I'm just being real. Like, no one's coming to save you. Like, you have to have that discipline and that independence to do what you set out to do. No one's gonna come. I mean, people can tell you, oh, you should go train, you should go eat better, you should go do this, you should go fix that relationship you've been having problems with for 5 years. No one can really make you do that, other than I had to realize that when I first like started on this whole journey thing. Like, no one else is gonna tell, like, you have to want it more than other people. No one else can want it more than you, because if someone else wants it more than you, there's a problem. No one else will want it more than you. So just having the courage to take the first step and changing what you don't like about your life. I mean, you can be the only one that changes what you don't like and what you want to get. No one else can come in and do it for you. And if they are, that's not the way it should be, in my opinion. This one, though, is kind of like, it doesn't really make sense because I'm talking about being alone, but I think you learn the importance of community. Because I feel like when you have moments of being alone, like you're running alone, you're going for walks alone, you're training alone. When you do go into that community, you appreciate it much more. Like, it's kind of like if you don't have your phone, if you like, you take days off of your, I don't know why I thought it. So you take days off of your phone, and then the day when you get on your phone, you appreciate it a little bit more, and you're like, okay, I don't really need it as much, but I really appreciate it. I'm not saying you don't need a community, but it's kind of similar. But basically, what I'm trying to say, when you're away from that community, you're building yourself. You're figuring out, interpersonal problems you have. You're building, resilience. When you go, when you're around like-minded people, it just amplifies it. It makes it just way better. Like, cause I've noticed it too. Like, when I'm around people, like I really appreciate it. I'm like, dang, like I really appreciate where I'm at, like where my 2 feet are at right now. So I feel like just being alone and taking the time to, really think what you want for your life and really identifying who you are and what you stand for. When you come in contact with other people, you just that carries over, and then it just makes it better. You just appreciate the experience, and you just appreciate the people that's around you, And I just feel like that's the main goal. I don't want to. I'm the whole reason I'm making this is I'm not trying to say you should be alone all the time. I mean, because I was at one point in time, I was like that. I'm like, oh, I just need to be alone. I need to be isolated. I mean, I don't really think you need that many friends, but I think you need a little tribe of people that can, help you when you're down and, tell you what it is and, keep it 100 with you. Because, I mean, sometimes, not everyone has the answers. You might need a mentor or a like-minded person to tell you and kind of give you some tidbits on what to do. I'm not saying they're going to do it all for you, but they can show up, when you're down and, give you a brighter scheme of things and give you a brighter idea of what to do when, stuff hits the fan, because stuff will hit the fan. So, just appreciating those people, knowing how to be self-reliant, independent, but also learning how to, really have love for people that are close to you and really appreciate them. Because, I mean, it's a lot of people that, well, no, it's a lot of people that won't show you support, and it's a lot of people that will talk down on you and, try and bring you down to their level. But there will only be a few select people that will show up and, really support you and really, look out for you when things get because times will get hard. It's guaranteed. So just really appreciating those people, because only a handful of people. So yeah, that was kind of what I think about the power of being alone. I think everybody should, seek. I think it's a lifelong journey. Like, you're not always gonna know everything about yourself, and I don't think you should at that one moment. I think that's a part of the process. Like, every day learning things that, maybe your pet peeves or things that, irritates you, things that you could work on, things that, your strengths, things that are your competitive advantage, just really identifying who you are as a person and really being okay with that. I think if you're okay with it and you really accept yourself, that's when, I wouldn't say life gets easier, but you're more aware. Like, you're more in tune of who you are and what you stand for and what you want to do. But yeah, that was the power of being alone, episode 20. I hope that helps y'all out and, pushes y'all to really seek who you truly are. But that's episode 20 of the Indigo podcast, and I'll see y'all next time.